Hi, mini scientists. Welcome back to this week's lesson. We are now in Unit 2, Lesson 2.1, Even Plants Need Food. Throughout this lesson, you will be able to explain what plants need to grow and thrive by analyzing the ecosystem restoration sim and drawing conclusions. You will also be able to explain how plants make their food molecules by drawing conclusions from a diagram and scientific text. So we're going to warm up our brain by doing our do now. In our last lesson, we have learned about producers and consumers. Producers make their own food by taking in matter, which is our carbon dioxide and water, and also energy, which is our sunlight. Consumers get matter and energy by eating plants or animals. What you will do is determine if each list organism is a producer or a consumer. Good job. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to answer the following questions. What do plants need from their environment in order to grow and thrive? What is matter? What are some things made of matter? What are some things that are not made of matter? How do plants make the food matter they need in order to grow and thrive? So we have been looking at our Costa Rican rainforest ecosystem. We have been trying to figure out why the jaguars and sloths are not thriving. So, our very first investigating question was why aren't the jaguars and sloths growing and thriving? The jaguars and sloths are not growing and thriving because there are not enough Sacrepio trees in the project area. So by looking here in this data, we have noticed that the trees in our project area is smaller compared to our healthy rainforest area. I wonder why that is happening. So we are going to be investigating why our capriccio trees aren't growing and thriving. So our very first thing that we are going to be doing is exploring plants in the simulation. Since we can't directly observe where plants get their food molecules in an ecosystem, we can use a model to try to figure it out. We will use the sim to explore where plants get their food molecules. Remember, matter is made of molecules. The cubes in the sim represent the matter of the organism's body. We are going to practice with a scenario with removing our rabbits first. In here, we notice we have our carbon dioxide, which is our diamonds, water, which is our half triangles, nutrients, energy, which is our sun. We also have plants, rabbits, wolf, and mushrooms. Now, in this image, I have decomposers, producers, and consumers. Now, my plants are my producers, and my rabbits and wolves are my consumers. My mushrooms are my decomposers. By looking at this simple food chain, I wonder what will happen if I remove an organism and what will happen when I place it back. So we are going to practice first. So for us to understand the simulation, I'm going to start off by removing the rabbits. So I'm going to click on the rabbits and remove them from this ecosystem. Now I wonder how will this affect my ecosystem? I'm going to press play, and I'm also going to increase the time to 2. As I remove the rabbits, I still know that the plants are getting energy from the sun. I notice that the matter cubes from the plants here are getting bigger because the rabbits aren't around to eat those plants. So I can see the plants are growing and thriving even more so because there are no rabbits to consume them. So we see here our matter is getting bigger and bigger. Without the rabbits, I noticed something happened to the wolves. What do you notice happens to the wolves? So please remember to keep observing the wolves and what will eventually happen to the wolves. Okay, I'm going to pause. So once again, you will tell me, what do you notice about what happened to the wolves? They look like they're getting sick, or they're droopy, or eventually dying off. Also, if you notice, the matter cubes are decreasing. I'm going to still hit play. The matter cubes are decreasing because the wolves depend on the rabbits. So we just had the opportunity to remove the rabbits. I'm going to reset us. So I am now going to focus on the plants to answer our investigating question. What do plants need from their environment to grow and thrive? In an ecosystem, we have living and non-living things, and there are many interactions between living, which is our plants, and non-living things in order to survive. Right now, we're going to focus only on carbon dioxide. So remember, our carbon dioxide is our triangles. I'm going to remove the carbon dioxide. So I'm going to click on the carbon dioxide and remove. Once I press play, I want you to notice what happens to the plants. We're only going to be focusing on the plants. So I'm going to press play, and as I'm pressing play, I want you to observe what is happening. Okay, so we just investigated what happened when we remove carbon dioxide. We will now do a model where we will remove water. So remember, our waters are our little triangles, which is in the soil, because remember, water can come from the soil. So I'm removing the water, and we're only focusing on how does plants react when we remove water in our ecosystem. So we're looking at our plants without having any water. Okay, so we just saw carbon dioxide and water being removed. I'm wondering, do we really need carbon dioxide and water for our plants to survive in our ecosystem? Now, let's look at when sunlight is removed. So I'm going to now remove my sunlight. We are going to focus on the sun and plants relationship. Okay, so we just looked at our simulation where we looked at carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight all being removed. So remember, plants need three key things to grow and thrive: carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight. Plants take in sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water to get food matter. Plants use carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight to make food matter. Without these things, plants cannot grow and thrive and will eventually die. So if you look here, these are all from our simulation. Sunlight was removed, carbon dioxide was removed, and water was removed. You notice without them, the food matter, plants become unhealthy and will eventually die. Now, what are some things that plants need in order to make food molecules in order to grow and thrive? Okay, some important key takeaways that I think you should write down. Plants make their own food matter or energy in order to grow and thrive. Plants need carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight to make their own food. Now, in our simulation, we learned that plants, which are our producers, need three things to grow and thrive: carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight. But let's consider the following question. How do plants convert carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight into food molecules? So, how plants make food matter? Since plants are not mobile in the way that most humans and animals are, they have to find ways in order to make food matter in order to grow and thrive. Plants are producers, which means they are able to make their own food matter. Plants make their own food through a process called photosynthesis. Photosynthesis 101. Plants need three key things in order to undergo photosynthesis. They need water, sunlight, which is our light energy, and carbon dioxide. During photosynthesis, plants make their own food, sugar or glucose. Plants also give off oxygen during photosynthesis, which is important for humans and animals. Let's do a quick check for understanding. Which of the following is not a key thing that plants need to undergo photosynthesis? Oxygen. So let's see, how does photosynthesis work? Plants take in water and nutrients found in the soil through their roots. Now remember when we looked at our simulation, the nutrients and water was in the soil, and that water provided the nutrients that it needed for the plants. Plants take in carbon dioxide and sunlight, which is our light energy, through their leaves. During photosynthesis, water, sunlight, and carbon dioxide is converted into sugar that plants use as food. Plants also give off oxygen that humans and animals breathe. So, some key ideas. Plants make their own food through a process called photosynthesis. Plants take in water, carbon dioxide, and sunlight from their environment. At the end of photosynthesis, plants give off sugar they use for food and oxygen that is released in the air. So we're going to look here at a plant. On this side here with my orange arrows, this is my input, so what goes in. And then here on my blue side, we have what goes out. So remember, plants take in water through their roots. Plants take in carbon dioxide from the air through their leaves. Plants take in sunlight energy through their leaves as well. So this is all what is coming in. Now what is exiting is plants are able to make sugar or glucose that they use as food to grow and thrive. And plants give up oxygen to the environment that humans and animals breathe. Plants make food for energy. Plants don't have to eat because they make their own food. What do they make it out of? Even a plant can make something out of nothing to make their own food. Plants need to take in matter first. Plants don't have mouths for eating, but they do have tiny openings in their leaves that take in gases from air. One of the gases in the air is called carbon dioxide, and plants use molecules of carbon dioxide as one of the ingredients for making their food. The other ingredient is molecules of water, which plants take in through their roots. The roots take in water molecules from soil around them. By catching sunlight, a plant leaves collect the energy needed for making food. Using energy from sunlight, plants change the water and carbon dioxide molecules into food matter. The matter stores energy that plants took in from sunlight. Plants use the food matter for energy the same way animals do. Plants need energy to grow, move, and make seeds. Some key takeaways. Plants make their own food matter or energy in order to grow and thrive through a process called photosynthesis. During photosynthesis, plants take carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight. Plants make or give off sugar that they use for food and oxygen that is released into the air during photosynthesis. Good job, my mini scientists. Now, what's next? You return to the Google Slides, complete your ending practice, and then take your exit ticket. Please reach out if you have any questions or concerns, and I'm here to provide any assistance that you need. Have a good week.